One of the things I loved most about Mike was just his pure passion for the Lord. Like, this brother just really loved Jesus. He knew he needed Jesus. He recognized his dependency on Jesus, and he absolutely loved Jesus. And every time I was with him, every conversation I had with him was just so focused on Christ and on what God was doing in his life, and how thankful he was for the work of Christ in his heart and in his life. And I know he had his struggles, he had his battles, but man, this brother really knew Jesus, and he knew how to lean on him and to be dependent on him. And another thing I loved about Mike was just his passion for sharing the gospel and sharing the good news of Christ with others. He had experienced the transformation of Christ in his own heart, in his own life, and when you experience that in such a powerful way like Mike had, he couldn't help but want for other people to experience that. And so, whether it was, stopping at a McDonald's before church and buying food for other homeless guys just so that he could have a conversation with them about the Lord, or bringing just a whole group of folks from the rescue mission to attend City Church with him. No matter what he was doing, this brother was just always sharing the good news of the gospel. And I was so sad to hear about his loss, about losing Mike, but I'm also just eternally thankful that we will meet again, and that this is not the end of the story, that he is with Christ, and he is pain-free, and he is with his Savior. So gonna miss him. Loved Mike dearly. Had a powerful impact on my life.
Hey, this is to my brother Mike Cox. So sad to hear that you moved on, but you was a soldier. You fought a war. You fought a good fight, Mike. Love you, bro. It was your time to go on and turn in. So go on and rest in peace, brother. I love you, man. I really miss you.
My name is Chris Sloan, and I've only known Mike for 3 years since joining City Church and being a part of men's group with him. But I quickly was drawn to Mike for his easy laugh and smirk that he always had on his face, and his kindness. He just had a goodness about him that drew people to him. And the other thing I remember about Mike is in men's group specifically, he always seemed to be listening more than other people. Listening for how he could get to know God better. He was always seeking to pursue God by reading his Bible, by listening and participating in worship. And he went through some really hard times in his life. I did not know him the majority of his life. I don't know what he was like. I know he had some hard patches, but the last 3 years of his life, I will remember him, and I know him as a man who was pursued by God and really desired to know him more. I feel blessed to have been a part of his life and to have called him friend. So we'll miss Mike a lot.
So my name's Eric, and I was part of the Monday morning Bible study group that Mike was with. And when I think of Mike, 2 words really come to mind. And the first one was caring. As I think about that group on Monday morning, I always think of the other guys that were there because of Mike. That Mike just always wanted to take time to bring and invite and tell other guys about this opportunity, and about the chance to come to the group, about the chance to come to church. And Mike just always caring about other people. So I think of the word caring when I think of Mike. And then the second word I think of is I think of the word real. Every time I listened to Mike, I just got this deep sense of he was being real with us. The good and the bad, he was real, he was transparent, he spoke the truth for us. And it always challenged me to want to make sure that I'm being honest and real and transparent with my friends, with my wife, with my family. And just that transparency that I always saw in Mike really challenged me to look at my own faith, my own walk, my own life, and say, am I being real? Is this really who I am? And can I be honest about that? And I know for Mike it wasn't always good. Sometimes it was, sometimes it wasn't. But he was real, and that just challenged me a lot. And I just know that both who I am and who the Monday morning group that I was part of will never be the same. We were changed, we were challenged, we were encouraged because Mike was in our group, because Mike was our friend.
Love you, Brother Mike. We'll miss you on Monday mornings, but we look forward to the day where we all get to see each other again in heaven. We'll meet in paradise. Rest in peace.
My name is Corey Hooley, and I knew Mike through the Monday morning men's Bible study. Mike Cox taught me many things in life. One of the things that he showed and that he always demonstrated was his love for other people. No matter his situation, he was always looking out for the needs of other people. And he gave so generously on so many occasions to those around him. And the other thing that Mike demonstrated to me in my life was just his love for Jesus. He was never ashamed to talk about the gospel and the faith that he had in Jesus Christ. And I will say that I am most definitely a better man because of Mike Cox and getting to know him over these last couple of years.